Arsenal Fan TV, the international break is over, football is back. I say football is back, football's been going on, but it's just been the international break. And do you get excited about the international break? I know I'm going to be really excited when the Euros start, but I still find it a bit hard to get excited with friendlies, even though the England versus Germany game, that was a great game. And taking a look at our players in the international watch, let's start off with that game. The game against Germany, played last week Friday. Great performances, I thought, by Danny Welbeck. I thought he'd done really, really well in the game. Not as great for Mesut Ozil. Didn't perform that great in the game. He had a couple of chances, actually, where he could have scored from, but he didn't. But Welbeck, I thought, was pretty impressive in that game, even though he didn't get on the score sheet, even though he kept hearing all this talk about how Spurs all of a sudden are the New England. To be fair, the Spurs players did play well in that game, but I thought Welbeck has got to be on that plane. He put in a very good performance. Theo Walcott, on the other hand, he played last night. Wasn't that impressive. I mean, he didn't really get much time to do anything. Really got sort of one shot away. But Theo Walcott, not really that much involved in the England setup this time. He did have a dead leg, so that kind of kept him out of the Germany game. Mesut Ozil, by the way, yes, he did feature in the defeat to England last week, where they got beaten 3-2 over there in Germany. But he played on Tuesday night in the win. They really came out with a bang, Germany. And Mesut Ozil scoring a penalty in that 4-1 victory over Italy, which was mightily impressive to beat Italy, even though it was in Germany, but they haven't beaten Italy, I think, for something like about 20 years. So that was a great victory for Germany, and good to see Mesut Ozil on the score sheet. And also, he was presented with the German Player of the Year award before that England game. So very, very, very positive for him. David Ospina, he played in 2 games over the international break. On Thursday of last week, they played against Bolivia. Colombia beaten Bolivia by 3-2. And on Tuesday night, Colombia beat Ecuador 3-1. Ospina played in both of those games, and well done to Ospina. He's continuing on his form. He's the #1 goalkeeper for Colombia, and he played the full 90 minutes in those games. Moving on to France, Olivier Giroud scored a goal for France in their victory over the Netherlands, who subsequently went on to beat England. France beat them 3-2 last week. Giroud scored a goal. If you get a chance, he did a magnificent bit of skill in that game as well, where he took down the ball. You got to watch it. Go on YouTube and have a look at that. But yeah, decent performance by Giroud, getting on the score sheet. And Koscielny as well featured in the game, both games actually, playing a full 90 minutes. Sorry, no, he played in the first game full 90 minutes. He was a unused substitute in the second game that France played against Russia, where they won 4-2. But I think that's more to do with the fact that they wanted to rest him. They didn't want to play him in consecutive games, because obviously Arsenal have still got games coming up this season. What about Alexis Sanchez? Away with Chile, couple of tough games for Chile as well. They played against Argentina at home. Unfortunately, they got beaten in that one. They lost that game 2-1. And then he also played in the game, this is part of the problem, he's always playing, Alexis Sanchez. But they had a 4-1 victory over Venezuela, and Alexis Sanchez featured in that. And he also got 2 assists in that game. So very good performance by him. Joel Campbell, Costa Rica played against Jamaica. That was very interestingly, obviously people who watch Arsenal Fan TV know of my Jamaican connections. My mum and dad are from Jamaica. My grandmother is actually from Costa Rica. So a little bit of a mixed on this one. But Joel Campbell played the full 90 minutes in the 3-0 victory over Jamaica. They played Jamaica twice. He also played the first game, it was Jamaica 1, Costa Rica 1. That was in Jamaica. But in the second leg, Costa Rica beating Jamaica by 3-0. And apparently good performances by Joel Campbell in that. Mohamed El Nene played for Egypt in the game Nigeria versus Egypt. The first game was last week Friday, 1-1 draw. If you don't get a chance to watch that game, there's an incredible bit of refereeing. If Bully was a Nigerian fan, he would have wanted to slaughter the referee who blew up the whistle just as I think it was Mohamed Salah was running through on goal to score the winner. Egypt did get their revenge though on Tuesday night, beating Nigeria 1-0, and that means that Nigeria out of the African Cup of Nations, Egypt go marching on. Alex Iwobi, by the way, also played. He came on as a 73rd minute substitute in the defeat to Egypt. So it's good to see that he's getting into the team. Mohamed El Nene featuring in both of those. Some of the young guns, Callum Chambers, Chuba Akpom, Isaac Hayden, they were all on international duty with the under-21s. They got a draw against Switzerland's under-21s. Hector Bellerin also played for Spain's under-21s as they beat Norway 1-0. And Serge Gnabry, remember him? Well, he was playing for Germany's under-21s, but he didn't actually get on the pitch for either of their 2 games, but at least he's back in the fold. So that's the international duty for all the Arsenal players. Glad to say that there's no injuries at the moment, ATM, to any of those players, so they should all be back and fit for the weekend. When we get back to the serious stuff of playing Watford, we've got to get revenge in that game, but that was our Arsenal Gunners on duty. Who are the 10 best players ever to play for Arsenal Football Club? Tough, innit? Here's my 10.